So I initially got into CrossFit in my last year of university in 2010, back when there wasn't a lot of gyms around. I was up in Edmonton, and a friend of mine had found the main site, had been doing it for a couple weeks, and thought it was awesome. So we looked through, and I looked at a lot of the workouts. They looked really intimidating. We settled on what was the easiest looking one, which was Cindy, which I think I got through about 14 minutes and like 7 rounds or something terrible like that. And I went and threw up and dry heaved for the next hour. And I realized that I was not in as good a shape as I thought I was. And then from basically that point on, I was pretty hooked. So I had about a year off when I was in the field, doing some engineering work. But since I've been to Calgary in 2011, I've basically been at Ramsay ever since. So a little over 5 years cumulatively. I think the biggest thing with CrossFit is the community. What would always bother me about a regular gym, and a lot of that was again at the U of A gym, and even that was, call it relatively friendly, but for the most part people put their headphones in, they don't really interact. It's all, and I was plateauing a lot in my lifts. I had pretty poor technique, which I didn't even realize at the time. Like I thought on a deadlift you had to like arch your back, and it was really bad. So I think the biggest thing too is it's always really challenging, but it's always rewarding. There's like that shared misery, where CrossFit kind of becomes a lot of your social circle as well. So that's probably the main reasons. The biggest thing is when, like, if you show people who don't do CrossFit what the workouts are, that in your mind are actually pretty, like, relatively achievable, normal workouts, and it tends to blow them away. Like, no one would think you'd be able to do 100 pull-ups in a workout, but it comes up all the time. No one would think you would be heavy deadlifting as you're running and doing a bunch of jump rope. That it pushes the limits of what you find to be easy or attainable. And I think the nicest thing is that once you do it for long enough, there's really nothing that comes up in daily life that can kind of intimidate you anymore. No matter what physical task that comes up, and even some of the mental stuff. You've built up so much mental fortitude by pushing through that you can really tackle anything, and you get this feeling that you're going to be pretty good at everything you do regardless of how much experience you have. And so that's a really nice feeling to take with you everywhere. You always know not just if you're getting better, but exactly how much you're getting better. I haven't PR'd my deadlift in a little bit, and all of a sudden, boom, it comes, even though you weren't even really training it, because there's so much capacity that lends itself to a lot of similar things. And so that's really nice, is that you always have that feeling of improving, because there's always something you can be doing better on, whether it's you PR'd your Fran time, you strung together a couple muscle ups, you did 50 double unders without missing. There's a ton of little goals that are always achievable, week in and week out, that again, if you go to a normal gym and you do the same routine over and over again, it's really hard to know if you're getting better. Whereas here, you always know when you're getting better, and the great thing is if you come often, pay attention to nutrition, you do get better.